Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. What a day AMC stock had on Friday. You were very close to closing above a critically important level. Very, very close, like specifically 1 cent away from it. And for most of the day, you were actually above this level. We'll talk about this level and what this could mean for AMC stock coming ahead in the next couple of weeks. Now, we will also go over all of the data you need to know behind AMC stock and whether or not I think a much larger rally could be coming for the markets. And I want to start this video off, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, all that good stuff, with what you seen on Friday. You seen the NASDAQ down about 1.19% on the triple Qs. You did break down. Things do not look fantastic for the NASDAQ or the broader markets. The thing that I really want to highlight right from the start of this video is you've already seen a lot of the pain and the carnage in your interest rate sensitive names, your small cap stocks. Look at Tesla, interest rate sensitive name, probably the most interest rate sensitive name, down 35% year to date. It's left and right. Boom, 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 boom. We're getting beaten down there. Okay. And AMC and other stocks, look at Fubo, look at a SoFi, companies that had great earnings, doesn't even matter. The momentum is, or has been, to the downside. Maybe, just maybe, big tech, if big tech does fall over the next couple of days, maybe that could lead into a rally for some of your interest rate sensitive names, like an AMC. Maybe we've seen a little bit of a precursor to that on Friday. And what's actually funny, the NASDAQ was up 0.04% in after hours and AMC stock was down in after hours. So maybe you're seeing a perfect inverse relationship starting to play out. Nonetheless, the fact that AMC stock closed regular trading 1 cent under its 50-day moving average could have been better. We could have closed above that 50-day moving average, but you're very close to that right now. AMC stock closed at $4.44. Your 50-day moving average is at $4.45 per share. So you are 1 cent off of that. You did move down about 3 cents in after hours on Friday as well. But the fact that you are butting up to this 50-day moving average is a good sign. You're setting yourself up for about 35% upside if AMC stock can get above that 50-day moving average, potentially setting yourselves up for a rally into the $6 range. Now, we have recently gotten some good news. We've recently gotten news that AMC and Zoom are partnering to do these, hybrid kind of seminar events. Who knows exactly what this will turn out to be if it turns into anything. We also got news recently that AMC stock is putting their popcorn into Kroger's and Publix instead of just being in Walmart. And I think that will open up the demographic a lot more to purchase this popcorn. And obviously, it must have been pretty popular in Walmart so far to expand that partnership. So I think that's some pretty exciting news as well. Popcorn tends to have some pretty high margins. So we'll see, especially as even the box office is starting to get a little bit better. I think that's safe to say, or fair to say, that maybe these things are coming together in a way that can be very positive and constructive for AMC stock. Now, one of the most notable things that we've seen on Friday for AMC was the option activity from hedge funds and institutions. Take a look at these numbers. Something we don't see all the time. On Friday, you had 6 orders, 6 trades from hedge funds and institutions. These are big, these are notable trades. These are not your small trades. You had 6 of them totaling $747,000 with a positive order value of 86%. So very positive option activity that we've seen on Friday for AMC stock, and that is fantastic. Now, volume to the call side was almost 63%, volume to the put side at about 37%, so that looked good as well, including retail investors. You were definitely out there buying the dip in AMC or trading the dip in AMC, getting some call option exposure. So looking fantastic there. Some of the trades that we've seen from hedge funds and institutions were likely selling of puts, which is interesting. You've seen $7 puts that were likely being sold. April 19th, $5 call for $12,000, and even a $10 put that expired yesterday that was also likely being sold as well. So pretty interesting. Lots of selling of puts that you've seen there. Typically, when you get a lot of selling of puts, that can mean the stock is likely to bottom, because if you buy puts and your puts go into the money, market makers have to go out and short stock. When you sell puts, that's usually a good sign that people think the stock's not going to fall much further from here. So we'll see. That could be a slight indication that maybe AMC stock will start to perform a little bit better over the next couple of weeks. Really, I think that 50-day moving average is the level to be watching very closely. You do have 12.81% short interest of free float, staying pretty pinned here, right at about 13%. You did hit 13% for a brief period of time. You've started to come down. So we'll see what does come next. You do have $143.44 million currently in short positions in AMC. Days to cover 2.15, 33.59 million shares that are currently sold short. Shares out on loan 43.68 million. Cost to borrow 1.08%, utilization of about 59%, and a short score of 66.89 out of 100. You did have what looks like more shorting activity that was taking place on Friday, with cost to borrow fees about 4.33%, which your cost to borrow fees lately have been like 1 to 2%. So that's a little bit more notable than other days. Okay. I'll be damned. My 4-year-old daughter's downstairs watching the TV, and I'm like, she's been quiet for a while. Usually she's running in here, daddy this, daddy that. I go down there, all the bananas are gone. She just ate like 4 or 5 bananas. I guess there's worse things she could have been doing, but yeah. Okay, plenty of potassium, I see. Okay, on with that. Let's get into other things you need to know specifically with AMC stock. Now, this upcoming week, you are going to have some earnings that still will be reporting. Monday, really not too much, nothing that's too notable. Tuesday pre-market, you have XPeng, and then in after hours, some healthcare companies, not too much there. Wednesday pre-market, General Mills and Ollie's. I want to see what General Mills has to say about inflation, if that's becoming a problematic. I doubt it, but if they say so, that's a really good leading indicator kind of company for inflationary pressures. Now, Wednesday and after hours, you will get Micron, important for the semiconductor AI trade. Chewy, KB Homes, Five Below, Guess, Lithium Argentina, and some other companies as well. Thursday pre-market, Intuitive Machines, Darden Restaurants. Again, that's another one important for inflation, important for the state of the consumer. Are people still going to restaurants? We heard from Walmart CFO that people are starting to slow down and even cut back on their purchase of McDonald's. McDonald's CFO Lan Borden warned about a decline in traffic in 2024. He says some of those consumers are just choosing to eat at home more often, he said at a conference Wednesday. As a result, the fast food industry looks primed for a price war to draw customers back through their doors. What the heck? Come on, a price war? Bro, what is going on? That's crazy. McDonald's and a price war? Psh, that should be good for inflation, right? Thursday, after hours, you will get Nike, Lululemon, FedEx, and some other names. Nike, Lulu, and FedEx, these companies can be important for the consumer as well. So definitely want to keep those guys on your radar. And Micron as well could be important for the broader markets. Now, we are going to get that GTC conference from NVIDIA coming on Monday, and that could be a little bit of a sell the news event. It looks like, from my perspective, you have likely seen a buy the rumor situation around this event. Because, I mean, since last earnings with NVIDIA, people are like, okay, well, we know there's this conference coming on March 18th. We know that's probably going to be a bullish event. You are likely seeing a lot of the, well, by the rumor that has been happening over the past couple of weeks now. So I think there's a lot of hype there, a lot of momentum. It's going to be pretty hard, in my opinion, to justify what has happened with NVIDIA stock. And that's something, again, if you kind of inverse here and you get a sell-off in big tech that is positive for small and mid-cap stocks, other areas of the markets that have been drained of liquidity, well, yeah, that could be positive for AMC, but we just don't know that yet. Sentiment for AMC today is neutral at 53. 1 day ago, it was at 57. So, considering today is Saturday, St. Patty's weekend, that's pretty good to even have sentiment where it is right now. Message volume falling a little bit as well. Again, that's common over the weekend, going from 50 down to 42. So, all things look pretty good there. Participation ratio is at 54, which is roughly where we have been. You were at about 55, so participation ratio falling a little bit today, but still looking pretty good overall. So not too much to complain about there. Go tracker data for AMC, and last week you had about 12,000 calls expire in the money. Out the money calls at about 271,000. In the money puts at about 26,000. Out the money puts at about 111,000. So a lot of option activity last week. We'll see if that rolls over to this week's expiration. You have about 2,200 calls currently in the money, 25,000 calls out the money. In the money puts at about 5,000. Out the money puts at about 15,000. So we'll see. This upcoming week's expiration could see a lot of that rolling over, and maybe more bullish positions taken in AMC. Let's be honest. I think AMC is really at a critical moment where, again, if you get above that 50-day moving average, that can lead into a lot more upside. But then again, we do have some pretty volatile catalysts coming on the near-term horizon that could be problematic for the markets. We'll talk about that a little bit more in the next video. My actual expectations for the market and for the Fed. Now, the percent of stocks above their 50-day moving average on Friday was up 1.34%. which I think really highlights the outperformance of the Russell 2000. The average stock started to do pretty well, whereas your other big tech names were kind of selling off, and that's what dominates the broader index. So that's why the indexes fell. At the same time, a stock like AMC and your average stock actually did pretty good. So there is that. On a technical basis, again, 50-day moving average, a breakout above that's going to be great. If not, you're going to fall quite a bit from here, especially if you kind of just get a broad market sell-off. Again, we'll talk about that a little bit more in the next video. The RSI currently sitting at 48.62. If you do break that 50-day moving average to the upside and you do see a rotation in the markets continue like you seen on Friday, then odds are you do go through a 35+% rally. MACD also looks pretty good right now, but can't really draw any definitive conclusions. Let me know what you think about this information down below in the comment section. Hit the like button as well as subscribe to the channel. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.